Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is for the guys. I mean, it's also for the women, but specifically for the guys. And we're talking about guys who are single or dating. And she gives such great insight so you can find the one, the keeper, the true connection. Today, we're going to talk about the top 5 things that women find attractive. What are they looking for? I love this because it's almost like having a big sister, or a little sister. Like, I'm just going to tell her, like, help me out here. How do we do this? She is Tamara from True Connection. She's back with us. Welcome. How are you?
Hi. Oh, I'm great. We're going to get into 5 of the qualities women are looking for, but there's actually 12. But we don't have time to get into that. So I have a free workshop on my website or on my Instagram that you can go to catch the rest, because you need all 12.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a tease. You're tease.
Absolutely.
This is like so important. Like, how do you, as a guy, we have a different perception than a woman would have as to what is attractive. So let's start. What's in no particular order, correct?
Well, I'll start with the big one.
Okay.
Yeah, the most important one.
Right.
Yeah. So, and we talk so much in my work about subconscious and conscious, because your subconscious and her subconscious mind in this case is really piloting the plane 95% of the time. And so she is just going through the motions, gathering data on you, getting to know you, getting excited about you. And then she comes up with a conclusion subconsciously too. That's why I focus so much on the 5%, which is conscious dating. And doing this kind of work, focusing on the conscious dating, is where you will put those things forward that subconsciously she's really looking for. So number 1 is safety. If she doesn't feel safe with you, you're done. Safety is number 1, the biggest thing. And you'll hear it in movies, in life, with your friends. I feel safe with him. You find out your friend's engaged, that's going to be one of her reasons. I feel safe with him. And that comes from so many different directions. She's arriving at that conclusion in 50 different ways. It's not you're going to sneak her off down the alley safety necessarily. I mean, physical safety is number 1. That's level 1 on Maslow's, right? But she quickly progresses to all the other elements to really see how she feels in your presence.
I would imagine also, tomorrow, it's safety in expressing her feelings and emotions. She's safe to do that.
Yes, right. To share, be open, be vulnerable. And that's why it's so important that the man does that too. Because if she's sharing and really giving and opening herself up emotionally, and the man isn't doing the same thing, well, she's just going to stop. Right? Because you've put up the barrier, the safety barrier.
Do you feel, even from the first or second date, that's got to be there? Or there has to be a little hint of an element of, yeah, I can feel safe with him. Again, we're not just talking about the dark alley situation, but just overall, you got to, feel that, like, I can share things with him. I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
You're going to know, right? And I think that's your rapport. That's your chemistry and connection right away.
Right.
And if it's not there, maybe it can come a little bit later on, of course, once you get to know each other a little bit more. But I feel that it's got to be like, there's got to be little nuggets of there in the beginning, or else it's not going to work.
Absolutely. And the door can open slowly. But if the door doesn't open for, like by the 3rd date, like she doesn't feel it opening slowly, she's out, because she really wants to be able to share and be open. But she also wants to know about you. To feel safe with you, she needs to get a real sense of you. So in the beginning, it's like chemical primal, the alley analysis, right? Then she's looking at, she would like another drink. So then you get the server for her. She trips on the sidewalk and you catch her before she falls. And you give her directions and give her, an assessment of the restaurant and the layout. You make sure it's in a public place. There's all those little things that add up to safety for her and physical. And then through your conversation, like you were saying, you're showing it through active listening. you're remembering what she's saying, you're remarking on what she's saying, and then you're sharing back. So she shares something about high school, and then you know, say, oh my gosh, something similar happened to me, and now you've got this great banter going. So it's progressive, but yeah, safety is definitely number one. And then she's looking, I mean, financial too, right? Mental, emotional, spiritual. You know, she's looking for all these sources of safety, you know, in alignment. And she does like it when you disagree and show that you kind of have a different angle or a different story or kind of a different belief or philosophy on something. She likes that too, because then she knows you're honest and trustworthy. And despite what she may conclude, you're still going to show her who you are.
And it can also be fun, the
Yeah. Yes.
disagreement, you know.
Mhm.
Hanging with somebody now, and you know, there's a little age difference, but we're on the same page of everything. Um, and I like some classic rock, and as does she. But like, you know, Steely Dan, not classic rock, you know, it's a poppy rock. There's some I respect them. She loathes them. So then I will joke around. I'll just sometimes I'll send,
That's
you know,
great.
a link to a video or something like that, just to, just stick it to her, just in a fun way. But we
Yeah.
disagree. We disagree. And maybe, you know, I could be driving or we walk into a store or something like that. And I'm like, that's Steely Dan. They're playing Peg right now,
Yeah.
just to be a jerk. But I want to go back to, in a fun way. I want to go back to
Right.
what you said about feeling safe. And I think this is one of the most important for both in terms of feeling safe. Safe to be yourself.
Yes. Yes, that's ultimately what we want.
Right?
Unconditional love,
Yep.
right? Yep, we don't like the same music. Okay. Not
Well,
a big deal.
not a big deal. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
can't, you can't be on polar opposite sides. You know,
Right.
I like classical. Well, I like metal. All right, probably not going to work because I love live music. I'll
Right.
go see anything. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
you have to be on some levels, but just, and well, that's what makes the relationship work. You feel like you're being yourself, but you feel safe to share
Right.
things in being yourself. It's not like you're hiding things, and it should feel that way.
Hmm.
I believe in that even in the beginning. You know, you are
Yes.
you.
Hmm.
Maybe not being 100% you, maybe you're not even being 50% you on the first date, maybe
Hmm.
the second, but there's a lot of you
Hmm.
going in there. Um,
Yes.
you know, if you
Right.
feel a little bit guarded, I don't know if I could say that to her, or I don't know if I could say that yet. You know,
Right.
maybe it could take some time. But
But
okay,
that's conscious dating, though, being wise about what and when to share. Like, you're not going to launch into the full story about your ex and why your marriage dissolved or your biggest heartbreak on your first date, because the first date's meant to be playful, lighthearted. Like, she might ask you, so you have your 2 or 3 sentence answer prepared, change the subject, move on, or, you know, just keep it lighthearted. And that's just being mindful.
yep,
That's just kind of respecting the process and where you're at, because you don't want to lose your connection or kind of confuse her about like sharing that that in-depth information so soon. Yeah, that just
yep.
can go all sorts of wrong directions. So I don't consider that not being yourself. I consider that being mindful and
Oh
respectful of
yeah.
the process
When
and
I say
being,
being
yeah.
yourself, I mean just in normal situations. You know, just in
Oh yeah.
general. You know, that's a different one. That's a you want the other person to know the deep details on your ex and
Hmm.
what went down, all
Yes.
of that. But yeah, you're right. You need to
Hmm.
carefully have that, you know, 2 sentences, you know, what happened and where you're at,
Hmm.
and then move on from it and then circle back to it another time. Don't, you know, dwell.
Right.
I just got a text from my ex earlier today. I just can't believe. Like, yeah, can you believe that she's
Exactly.
her attorney again? Like that kind of, well, actually, this is a true story, but anyway. But you can't, you don't want to go there. It's not even worth it.
Yeah.
And it just it brings it down anyway. So why
Right.
do it? Why do it? Okay.
Well, and it's fun in the beginning stages. Like, you're gathering all this fun information about her. What music does she like? What are her favorite foods? Or she
Right.
doesn't like this kind of, margarita. Or, like, for instance, I dated for someone for months. He never once asked me what kind of music I liked. And every time we got in the car, he put on a station that I loathed. And I would just suffer. Like, we'd be on a 3 hour, like, road trip listening. And it's a station, like a genre that I don't
Mm.
like. And I was like, So what message does that send me though, when he doesn't ask about little things like that that are a major part of our environment? He just wasn't like completely in tune or perceptive, and so that did really kind of make me feel unsafe, and in addition to some other things. So my conclusion at the end with all those little bits of data, because not asking me what kind of music I like is small, but when you combine that with other things, unsafe.
It's so funny you say that, because I grab my phone and I have of people I shortly dated. I made playlists for them. So when we're in the
I love it. That's
we
so
have the
thoughtful.
we have the Tracy playlist, we have the burger playlist. I nicknamed that because she loves hamburgers. Uh, and
That's great.
I haven't deleted them yet because I like some of the music. I should just rename
Yeah.
them though. But she liked we kind of in all of them. We kind of liked a lot of the same stuff, but there were some songs that she would like, so I make a playlist and we throw it up in
Mhm.
the car, whatever, it takes 5 minutes,
Right.
that I guess I'm being mindful. I'm, thinking,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, that's romantic, thoughtful, creative, clever. Yeah, yeah. She's drawing all sorts of positive conclusions from that. I love that.
I got to reach back to Burger. I haven't talked to her in a while, and we probably went on, I don't know, like 4 or 5, maybe four at least dates. Never even kissed her goodnight. It was more like a friendship thing, but it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's kind of fun to be with. And things happen for a reason. Anyway, so number one is safety. What's number two?
Yes. Number two is confidence. And this is what makes you appealing, sexy. She's drawn to you with this. Safety is like level one, like food, clothing, shelter. But confidence is what really, it's just an energy that you put out there. So you might not be conscious of what you're putting out there. And that's what derails a lot of guys and why they get friend zoned, because she doesn't feel your confidence coming forward. And when you're dating a man that's not confident, you feel unsafe. You date a man that is confident, not cocky, confident,
Hmm.
sexy, attractive, alluring, like, oh, I can't wait to see him again. I can't, I keep thinking about him. Yeah, these are two are connected, but it's also different because your confidence, then she knows that you will think of things, you will take care of a situation if it comes up, or she can rely on you to be on time, to keep your word, to be honest, all those sorts of things, that you know what you want and need, that you know what you bring to the table. There's so many ways that your confidence comes out, but primarily it's in your vibe, your energy, and how you articulate like what you're saying, your thoughts and feelings. So if you're coming through in a soft way, like in a more like nurturing soft tone, that's really great for certain subjects, but the rest of the subjects she wants to see your more masculine side. So that's why you sit in the car and you do your conscious dating exercise before you go into the restaurant. You put your masculine energy on so it comes forward. And then you're both balanced when you start the date. And she's in, then that she can relax and be more in her feminine energy because she feels your confidence. Yeah, confidence is magical. Yeah, and confidence might seem, elusive if you're just getting back into dating, but the truth is it's just repetition. You don't feel confident going up and approaching a woman, then you just practice talking to women in the grocery store, at the cashier, at the gas station, people at work. You practice that way. That builds a level of confidence. The next level of confidence is talking to women in general, even attractive ones that are intimidating. And then step three would be, then now you're more confident so that you're still nervous, but you're going to approach women that you actually are interested in.
Hmm.
So it's
I'm glad you said
it's
that.
just practice,
I'm glad you
just
said that
repetition.
because
Yeah.
even just, after you go on a number of dates, let's say you're newly single, whatever, after a while, it's like, I feel better. I feel better. I feel better. And then all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden you just turn around. It's like, I'm being myself. And if you don't like it, but in the
Yep.
beginning stages, when you, as a guy, lack some of that confidence, you're not really being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're over trying, being too sweet. Maybe you're doing this.
Yep.
You're not in
Yep.
your own personal zone. So yeah, it just takes
Right.
some time.
Right. And give yourself that grace. It does take practice and time. If you've not dated in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, yeah, it's going to take practice. And then after you get rejected, You've got to get back on the horse, and then maybe then you start practicing again and you move back up before you're really confident to approach women that you're really attracted to. So give yourself a break, but it's stretching every day to do a little bit more and build more and build more. It's just like learning how to snowboard, learning how to job interview. It's all those things that you did, even though you were scared anyway. You were courageous and
Mm.
just stepped forward and did it.
And same thing on the woman's side. That confidence is important to a guy. And,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
times where, somebody has just no makeup, throws on a Def Leppard sweatshirt that's oversized
Mhm.
and just kind
Yeah.
of goes with it. And it's like, oh, that's hot. It's just,
Yeah. Because she's okay. She's
yeah.
comfortable in her own skin.
And she doesn't even know she's doing
Yeah.
it. This is what I do.
Yes.
I don't need to put on makeup today. I'm good with it. Like, whoa, okay. Mm.
Right. True. That's true. That's true confidence. Yeah. That's real. That's authentic.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can
So
feel,
masculine energy is number 3, and that's closely related to confidence, but it's you could feel really confident in your feminine energy. You're a great father. You're really, caring of your employees at work. Like you're a really caring person, right? She's going to love that about you. But if you lead with that, then that forces her into her masculine energy to balance the roles. You both have masculine and feminine energy, and you're both going to bring those to the relationship. And that's what makes a really good partnership, right? You are both doing both things. So you can support each other and have each other's backs. But
mm.
if you walk in with your feminine energy on, you're going to get friend zoned because she's now in her masculine energy, and 90% of women don't want to be. They want to be the woman in the relationship and have the feminine role. They might be a badass boss all day, but they really want to let their hair down and be in the feminine role with you.
And
So
they,
that's why, again, you make sure your masculine energy is coming forward before you even walk in the venue, or you'll forget.
I,
And
I,
she'll forget too. She'll walk in with her boss energy on, and you're like, dang. But if you have your masculine energy on, she'll remember to let her guard down, fall into her, femininity. And then she'll start to just fall for you because, again, that leads back to safety. I can be the woman, not be the boss, not lead all the time, and just be with you.
you're on the guy side, you need a certain level of confidence, excuse me, especially when it comes from a woman, like you just said. And I know quite a few of them that are those take charge. Get out of the way. And your perception may be, oh, that's the way she is,
Right.
but she's
Yeah.
not. That's the way she is at work. But you
Yeah.
need to have confidence to realize that, to say, well, okay, she's got a softer side, call it that. Uh,
Mhm.
and
And
be
10% of women do want to be the boss full on all the time and want to wear the pants in the relationship. You know those women. So I'm really speaking to the 90% of
right.
women that would rather play the feminine role. And there's 10% of women too that want an actual like partner. They want to wear equal masculine feminine energy. But the other 80% of women really want to live in that feminine role with you. Yeah, they would love it for you to, you want to be in your masculine energy. It's just that society gets so confused and your role gets so confused in the different hats that you're wearing. You just forget sometimes to put that on before you go on a date.
Mm, yeah. You got to be
Yeah.
mindful. That's it. Because every guy has
Yes.
the feminine energy, some a little bit more than others in terms of
Yep.
nurturing, emotion, and all of that. But there's a time and
Right.
place for everything.
Yep. Yep.
And I think that's the key.
Exactly.
That's even the confidence key to know when to pull those out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Right.
Hmm.
But she does want to see that side of you. It's just a majority of the time she wants to be able to stay in the feminine role and wants to allow you to be in the masculine role too. And the more you stay there, the more she can let her guard down and really just be open.
Hmm. And feel
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
Feel safe.
Exactly.
All right. So that's number
Yeah.
3 is masculine energy.
Yeah.
Number
Number 4 is communicate, be open, share, be vulnerable. So now she does want you. This is a combination of masculine and energy and feminine energy because she wants you to say, I disagree. Oh, really? I grew up believing this, or that's interesting because that's not my experience. That's more masculine energy, right? And then active listening and then talking about, wow, you wouldn't believe what happened to me. And that's being vulnerable and open. It's also telling her what's maybe going wrong. So you're on date 10, you're really confused. These things don't add up, and you ask instead of just ghosting her, breaking it off. She's learning that she can trust you to communicate, ask questions when things are confusing, you voice your opinion. And so then you're building like foundational trust for your best friendship, your partnership, then when you're being willing to be open and share, and you say how you feel too. Being open with, gosh, I keep thinking about you, or I'm crazy about you, or sharing, that you're moving forward with her, that you're excited about her. So that one's a combination of the masculine and feminine that's critical.
What about if you're in a situation where things are working pretty well, been together for some time, and you're, as the guy, you're maybe a little more, have more of a feminine energy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just where you are, but it's all good. Everything's good.
Yep.
You express how you feel, and she doesn't give it back so much. You're expecting to
Mm-hmm.
hear it. I can't wait
Yep.
to see you again, or I really care about you, or you may, I adore you, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't hear it coming back. Where do you go with
Yeah.
that? Where do you go with that?
Well, you can let it lie, um, if you want to for a while. But the truth is, men fall for women faster. And so your timing, like the odds are your timing will be off. She won't be quite there yet.
Hmm.
So, if you're telling someone you love them within the first 2 weeks, she's not there. Well, and that really invades your trust space because she knows you don't have enough data to actually say that. What you're really saying is, I have so many feelings for you. I can't wait to see you, which is beautiful. So say that. I can't wait to see you. I keep thinking about you. I'm crazy about you. Wait until you really know her really well and you're exclusive, or the exclusivity and the I love you conversation, goes together maybe, but they should be, somewhat in line, because then she'll just feel more open to saying it back. But sometimes you just like are wild about someone and you want to ask someone to be exclusive after a week, but you're not ready to say I love you. That's okay too. But I just want you to know that's probably normal, that you are going to often encounter that she's going to be a slower pace than you, and that's totally okay. And then, if you say, I'm really crazy about you, I can't wait to see you, if she says nothing, that is weird, because she could say something back, I've been thinking about you too, or, I really can't wait to share this with you. Or she could say something, but maybe just not at the same level that you are, but she should say something. Otherwise, why is she still going out with you? So I
Yeah,
would give her the benefit of the doubt that she would decline your invitations if she
she could be guarded,
wasn't feeling the same.
right?
Could be guarded, could have been hurt.
Could have been hurt, right?
So you
Um,
could ask related questions then too. You could say, once you get further along, like, tell me like what breakup was, the hardest for you, or, tell me about your last relationship, or
hmm,
you could ask, and then that leads maybe then to the information about why she's slower.
gotcha. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
I got so many more questions, but I'm looking at the time, and I don't want to run out of time because we got to go to number five.
Yes. Number 5 is knowing what you want and need, because that displays confidence, makes her feel safe because you know what you want and need. That means she can proceed without fear of getting ghosted, or and if you break up, it's because you knew what you want and needed. It was with good reason. You're respecting the process. You took the time to give thought to those really critical things.
Hmm.
And when you're looking out for you, she also feels more safe with you, because then once you partner up and you're a couple, you will also look out for her. So you're demonstrating through your self-care how you will care about her. And knowing what you want and need and what you bring to the table is not selfish or cocky. It's just, these are the things that are great about me. Yes, I'm a human being, so I have faults. And these are the things that, I have to offer. And this is how I do relationships. And here's what I need out of relationship. Because that gives her more trust too. When she knows what you need, then she can step up and offer it too and try to grow into that relationship with you. Plus, then she can reciprocate and share what she wants and needs too, which is just, now we just have all sorts of beautiful chemistry and connection going on.
Hmm.
And there are going to be things that don't matter to one and really matters to the other. And you want to share that. You don't want to break up without voicing that and talking that through and giving it a chance.
Mm. Wow. These are all fantastic. These are the top 5 things that women find attractive. I think on the guy side,
Yeah.
number 5 in your mind should be number 1. What do you want?
Oh,
What do you
yeah.
need? You gotta know. 'Cause
Yes,
then
you
then
do.
it's like you're walking with a blindfold on
Hmm.
in traffic. You're just like, oh, and want to go on that date, see what happens there. Been there, done that. No, you need to know what you want and need,
Yes,
have a clear picture of it, which gets us right
yes,
into what you're basically all about, conscious dating.
yes.
There it is.
So procedurally, you need to know what you want and need. If that's if that's murky, then you say, I don't know. Like on a dating app, they'll let you say, I don't know, or relationship or casual. Choose what you want and then update it the second you realize you're ready for more, ready for something different. Because if you decide I'm murky, therefore I want something casual, then you'll attract the other casual daters. You won't ever go into a date on a different page. You'll be on the same page, and then it was worth your time and money to go on the date. I'm
Hmm.
all about you not wasting any time and money with the wrong women. So make sure that when you're chatting with someone, you ask what their intentions are if it's not clear on their profile. And in person, you just get the fun of discovering that through chat, phone, dates. Yeah, so I
Well,
completely agree. You've got to know where you're at because otherwise she's going to feel unsafe.
and you're so on point because before I figured that out, I don't even want to think about how much money I wasted. And, and it wasn't even just, a Starbucks date. Let's just, get together, a cup of coffee. I would go out to dinner and things like that.
Yeah,
And it's all,
right.
a learning process. But take all that money, guys, invest it in true connection. So you can figure out
Yes.
all of it. It's all there. And you always have the answer.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, even before I ask you a question and like you're on point and it's clear, easy to understand. How do we find you?
Oh, thanks, Steve. I really appreciate that. So I'm at trueconnection.coach, COACH, or you can find me on Instagram at Tamara True Connection. I would love to help you find your someone sooner than later and navigate all these things. Plus, if you want the other 7 attraction factors, I've got that free masterclass online or on my Instagram. You can get on and watch it anytime you want.
Awesome. One final
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
What is the genre of music that you don't like that the guy always played?
Oh, it's like the really gloomy, moody, like Billy Joel kind of station, like, or Moody Steely Dan, like just really depressed. Like, if music doesn't lift me up and I'm not dancing in the car, like,
Was this on
that's what I,
satellite? Was it in satellite?
uh,
Was it the bridge?
yeah,
Those are
it
like,
could be, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's
great
like, just
songs. They're
like,
all mellow, but you're not.
I'm like,
No,
oh, I'm so sad. By the time of the end of that 3-hour road trip, I'm just like so depressed. I'm like, oh my
that's
gosh.
yeah, that's like cup of coffee, put your feet up, do some work in the background, and just chill. That's not pump it up. Let's go on a road trip, having a great time.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. Not
that,
pick me
that,
up music for sure.
that's either freestyle hip hop or 90s like Semi Charm Life or something like that. But
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was a whole station devoted to this depressing music. I'm like, oh my
it's
gosh.
great. Always awesome talking with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. See you next week.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.